Maha Cartoon TV.
Banyan Bungalow Part 1. Avantika lived in a well-known area of London with her mother and stepfather Paul. Avantika was 5 years old when her mother brought her from India to London. Avantika was so pampered by Paul that she didn't even consider it necessary to ask her mother about her real father. One night, when Avantika was sleeping comfortably in her room, her sleep got disturbed by some noise.
Paul, I have already told you not to do so. How could you do this, even after knowing everything? Say, you have done all this intentionally. No, I can't trust you anymore. Hey, who is arguing so loudly in our house?
Avantika rushes out of bed, rubbing her eyes. And as soon as she reaches out of the room, she gets stunned on seeing her parents, Paul and Janvi, arguing over going to India.
Look, Janvi, if you keep remembering the past like this, then you won't be able to move forward in life.
Paul, you know very well about my past. There is nobody living on that land. Still, you think I should go back?
I know everything. That's why I was saying that this is all superstition. Someone must have made up a story in the past and you are still believing it. How many years you have been here? Did anything ever happen? You should visit your mother.
Avantika was listening to everything standing on the edge of the door. But unaware of what was happening, she can't control anymore and she goes straight to her parents.
What you both are doing here at late night? And where are you planning to visit? Oh, nothing, my dear child. You go and sleep. We are not going anywhere.
Avantika senses something wrong and she looks at her father Paul with confused eyes.
Papa, Mom is definitely hiding something from me. Tell me the truth. What were you both talking about?
Paul and Janvi look at each other nervously. Avantika cannot tolerate this silence and she asks again.
Look, you both are hiding something from me. Otherwise, what will you talk about outside your room at 3 o'clock in the night? Papa, Mom isn't gonna tell me anything. You tell me what's going on.
Avantika's questions leave Paul and Janvi confused, and both of them start looking at each other's face for answer.
Will you say something or not?
Ha 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 ha! Oh my child, there is nothing like that. You go and sleep. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Do you think I will go to sleep after seeing all this? Tell me quickly what you were talking about.
You're just like your mother. Stubborn.
No one can deal with Avantika's stubbornness. Paul couldn't control himself on seeing his beloved daughter insisting like this, and he tells everything to Avantika.
Actually, your mother has to go to India for a few days. Your grandmother is not feeling well.
As soon as Avantika hears about her grandmother, she gets stunned.
What? Grandma? I also have a grandma? Why didn't you tell me about this? Now it isn't necessary for you to know whether you have a grandmother or not. You have a mother and that's enough.
This is not the time to argue. Janvi, first think about your mother's health.
Nothing has happened to her health. She is not worried about her daughter, but about her own benefit. And this time, I will end this matter forever. Mom, I will also come with you. Tell me, why did you keep this secret from me for so many years?
Janvi sensed the eagerness of Avantika to go India. Janvi's mind was bombarded with thousands of thoughts.
Shut up, Avantika. You don't need to know about all these things.
Avantika and Paul get silent after seeing Janvi's behavior in this manner. Avantika had lost sleep from her eyes. No matter how much she tried to sleep, but only one question was echoing in her mind. Why her mother never told her about her maternal grandmother. Avantika's head was like a fence of innumerable questions.
I have never seen mom behaving like this. What has suddenly happened to her all at once? And till now, why has she not told me about grandma?
Don't know why Janvi's not picking up the phone.
What happened, Papa? Why are you so upset?
Hey child, don't you remember that today your mother has to come back? I've been calling her since morning, but she's not picking up my phone.
You are aware of mom's nature. You just don't need to worry about her. She will come back.
Avantika and Paul were still talking when Avantika gets a call from an unknown number.
Who is this? Hello?
On the other hand, due to network disturbances, the sound was coming in and out. Avantika tries to understand again and again, but she doesn't understand anything properly. Just then, Avantika shouts loudly.
Oh God, who is this? Can you speak properly?
Avantika, mom, accident. You, India as soon possible.
What rubbish are you talking? Who is this?
I am your grandmother, Avantika.
On hearing this, the phone automatically disconnects and Avantika starts looking at Paul with a pale face.
What happened? Whose call was it?
Papa, it was grandma's phone.
What?
She was saying that mom has an accident, so we have to leave for India now.
Avantika and Paul didn't waste a single second and they immediately left for India. Both Avantika and Paul, dressed in warm clothes, were waiting for a taxi in the freezing fog. Avantika's tension was increasing with each passing second.
Oh God, because of this fog, nothing is visible clearly. Papa, we should get out of here soon. My phone network is also not working.
You are saying right. There is so much silence here that I can even hear my own heartbeat. There's a taxi driver there. Let's ask him out. Hey mister, we have to go to the Banyan Bungalow. Who is going to take us there?
What? Banyan Bungalow? I don't think anybody would risk his life to drop you there. Well, who advised you to go there?
These people must have come here for a tour. They must have found this place on the internet.
Avantika was getting anxious. Suddenly, Avantika starts hearing her grandmother's voice.
Avantika.
Paul and the driver's voices gradually start slowing down. Avantika's eyes start turning red. She loses her temper and screams loudly.
That house is mine. Understood? Now say, will you go or not?
Hearing Avantika's changed voice and seeing her eyes full of blood, both the drivers start trembling with fear. And before they can understand anything, they disappear from there as soon as possible. Paul looks at Avantika in shock.
Avantika, you are okay, right?
I don't know, Papa. I felt as if someone else was speaking.
Seeing the changing behavior of Avantika, Paul started remembering all the things told by Janvi. Both of them are looking here and there in search of taxi. And just then, they see a light coming from the fog. And in no time, an old car comes to a stop in front of them through the fog. Avantika and Paul get terrified on seeing a thin, grey-haired and one-eyed driver.
No one will take you except me to the place where you both want to go.
Okay, so you know where we have to go?
Yes, you both have to go to the Banyan Bungalow.
Avantika gets lost in her thoughts and keeps staring at the driver.
It's really amazing to know that you want to take us to a place where the rest of the drivers disappeared on just hearing its name.
These foreigners people, they are new generation kid who believe in these stories of the jungle.
My house is on the same way. That's why I asked you. Anyway, you will not get any other taxi at this time. On hearing this, Avantika looks at Paul.
Papa, it's been a long time we are here. And I'm not even feeling good here. And what if we don't get another taxi? I think we shouldn't leave this taxi.
Without wasting any time, both of them sit in the car and the driver moves ahead, taking both of them on the zigzag road through the fog. Then Avantika realizes that there are no other trees in the forest except banyan trees. Paul repeatedly starts checking the network on his phone, but he doesn't get any success. Only then, the driver says while looking in the mirror, "Hey foreigner man, this is not your London, America. This is a forest, and it's such a dense forest that even sunlight cannot reach the ground during the day. Then from where will your mobile get the network?"
By the way, are there only banyan trees here?
Oh really? You can see the forest clearly even in such a thick fog.
I don't feel any fog. But that doesn't answer my question.
The driver says, looking at Avantika with a strange smile. "Ma'am, this forest is called the Banyan Forest. It is said that once upon a time it was a barren field where only snakes and scorpions lived. There was no food to eat and no water to drink. The water that used to rain was completely absorbed by the land."
If this area was so barren, then how did this forest come here?
People here say that seeing the condition of this place, the people of the village prayed for many months to make this land fertile. And one day, an old lady came here with her 18-year-old daughter with a bag of seeds. Avantika and Paul get lost in the driver's story. Just then, Avantika realizes that some red eyes are staring at her from the depths of the forest.
A bag? What was in that bag?
It is said that there was this whole forest in that bag. As soon as that old woman buried those seeds in the ground, the next moment, green trees came out of it.
Then,
Avantika gets so engrossed in the conversation with the driver that she sees the whole story happening in front of her. Then what? The old woman made a deal with the villagers that whenever needed, the residents of the forest have to satisfy the hunger of this forest. Everything went well for a few months. All the residents here started flourishing. And then one day, "Look, we have reached your destination, the Banyan Bungalow." Avantika and Paul see out of the car's window that there is a big bungalow, covered only with the banyan roots. On both the sides of the gate, there are big pillars, whose light is also buried somewhere in the darkness of the forest. Paul gets shocked on seeing this sight.
That's why Janvi didn't like this place. The people living in such a scary place can only talk about such scary things like ghost and black magic. Come on, child. We should go inside quickly.
hold on, Papa. You haven't finished the story. What happens next?
Oh, ma'am, they are all hearsay. By the way, it is said that one night the sounds of loud shouting started coming from the forest, and slowly the men started disappearing here. On hearing this, Paul and Avantika got stunned.
Is there anyone here or not? Avantika, I think Janvi was right. There is definitely something strange here.
Avantika puts her hand on the door before Paul can finish what he was saying. And then they realize that the door is already opened. Both of them manage to go inside and start looking around.
Papa, this is very dark here. And what is this stench?
Wait, I'll turn on the mobile flashlight.
Paul and Avantika start running around screaming in fear when a loud voice of a girl comes.
Switch off this torch. Bats are getting scared of it.
As Avantika turns off the torch, a 20-year-old girl comes out from the corner carrying a lantern in her hands.
You must be the maid of this bungalow. Go tell Granny that we have come.
I am not a servant here. And whom you are talking about? The old lady used to live here, dead many years ago.
On hearing this, Avantika and Paul got stunned.
If you enjoyed this video, do like, share and comment, and to be the first person to watch our videos, make sure to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for timely notifications.